I am not going to go beyond what the president said yesterday. I'm not going to get into details. I'm not going to get beyond what the president shared yesterday. I'm not going to go beyond what the president shared yesterday. I'm not going to go beyond what the president said. But you're saying not going to get beyond that? I'm just not going to go beyond what the president said.
Got it? That was the White House press secretary refusing to comment on classified documents found in an office President Biden used after he left the vice presidency. And she was stonewalling even before reports today that classified documents from his time as vice president turned up at another unsecure location. Bob Driscoll is here, former deputy assistant attorney general. Bob, it's good to see you as always. You know, there's the political side of this, which obviously is causing the White House huge grief. And then there's the legal side. Is the president personally really in any danger here?
It's really hard to know. I mean, you wouldn't think so, in that most of these cases with high-level people, you know, there's been some people that have been prosecuted, but most of the time it's handled administratively. The problem is you need to prove there's some kind of intentional violation, but we just don't know enough to know one way or the other. I mean, I saw a source that on TV that said that he was in a folder marked personal. An aggressive prosecutor could say, well, that you're trying to conceal those classified documents by putting them in something that's labeled what it is not. So, I mean, I think we just don't know enough. I think today came out that there are more documents, but no one disclosed where they were.
Yeah, or what
again,
kind.
When that's not disclosed, that's because the lawyers decided not to disclose it. So, yeah. I mean, let's get to these answers and then see what's happening.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because initially the Biden White House knew about this starting on November 2nd and didn't disclose it as well. So there is a pattern of this, and they could disclose what kind of documents was found in the second location and haven't either. You make a great point in terms of intent here. And there's big differences, at least on their face, in what we know about the Trump documents at Mar-a-Lago and the Biden documents, although the similarities are growing. The question would be this: how difficult is it, even for an aggressive prosecutor, to charge Donald Trump, which Democrats would love nothing more than, on the Mar-a-Lago documents, and let Joe Biden skate when you've got classified documents at two separate locations?
I mean, as a technical matter, you could draw all kinds of distinctions between the two cases. I think as a political matter, it's going to be very, very hard to maintain the perception you're treating them both equally. I mean, even from the outset, how does Garland not appoint a special counsel to investigate the Biden documents when he's already determined that the investigation of the Trump documents might affect the presidential campaign and thus requires a special counsel? You could say the Biden situation is less serious, but you can only say that once you've investigated and you know what happened. And so the question is, who has to do that investigation, and should it be someone outside the normal chain? He's taken the half measure of bringing in a U.S. attorney from Chicago, but I think the pressure is only going to grow, and this is why all of these things become a mess when you start to go outside the normal parameters of DOJ, like they did for Trump, and by appointing a special counsel. Because now the question is going to be, well, if the special counsel is required in one document case, why wouldn't there be one in the other?
Yeah, what's good for the goose, good for the gander. I got 20 seconds. The U.S. attorney out of Chicago, who's been appointed to look at this before the formal investigation, if it happens, was appointed by President Trump. Does that really matter? And at some point, can you continue to play the game of, well, we're going to appoint Republicans to investigate Republicans and Democrats to investigate Democrats, or vice versa?
Sometimes it's the best you can do. This is all a perception issue anyway. I mean, I think that most U.S. attorneys would try to do a fair job regardless of their party. But I think people feel a little better knowing it's not somebody who owes their political past and their political future to the current person they're investigating. And so, I mean, I get the point, but I think, you know, at some point you have to decide whether you want to go outside the department entirely for a special counsel. Because even though this U.S. attorney is a Trump appointee, guess who his boss is? The deputy attorney general, who was appointed by Biden, and the attorney general, who was appointed by Biden.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a great point. Bob, I apologize. We got to run. But, hey, if there's a third box tomorrow, you're our guy. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to NewsNationNow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.